All right, guys, we'll get to Giannis in just a second. But first, Bulls and Thunder. And backdoor pass to Zach LaVine ends with the nice reverse dunk.
LaVine also hit a shot from the logo late in this game. Kobe White was the star.
Yeah, I didn't like his game-winning shot. I didn't like that. He could have got a better shot.
The attempted game winner?
Yeah, I didn't like that, but he played great last night.
Here you go. Lakers Pelly's Alex Caruso dropping the dime between the legs to LeBron.
All right, so here's what I've determined, Antoine. The reason Caruso doesn't play more and just take all Rondo's minutes is the Lakers trying to help the NBA ratings issue, and they want these games to be kind of close. Because, you know, LeBron gets you the lead, Rondo squanders it, Caruso and LeBron come in and get you the lead back, rinse, repeat, and we get compelling fourth quarters.
They need Rondo, man.
Oh, come on, Antoine.
More from this one. Here we go. Lonzo
Oh, no.
hitting the ground hard after getting his shot stuffed by who?
Caruso's a really good player. He's not even in. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
He should be in the rotation. He should be in the rotation.
Jeez, man.
Not as much as you think, though.
Now, listen, I understand there is the scrappy white guy curve we give a lot of NBA players. Caruso's not that.
No,
Caruso is a really good player, man, and LeBron loves playing with him, and defensively he does not quite stuff like that, but he does stuff like that.
Oh, more from this one. Lonzo to Zion, and that's strong.
Where are you going, JaVale? Where do you think you think Zion's about to? Or that's Markeith. My bad, Keith. All right, it's your first game with the Lakers, but what do you think Zion's about to go spot up from the corner? You know where he's trying to go. You know he's trying to get to the hoop. Keith, come on.
You'll see that for the next 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Just play right here.
All right, here we go. The other big game last night. Drake's Toronto Raptors hosting the Bucks, perhaps a conference finals preview. And it was going to take more than Champagne Poppy's courtside trash talk to slow down the Greek Freak. Giannis with 19 points, 19 rebounds, and 8 assists as the Bucks become the first team to 50 wins. Nick, can anything stop the Bucks from getting out of the East at this point?
The only thing that can stop them, the only people that can stop them are people in their own building. Nobody else in the Eastern Conference is going, if for somehow, some way, the Bucks don't make the NBA Finals, it's going to be self-inflicted. Because yesterday, I'm watching this game, a great night in the NBA last night. You get Toronto and Milwaukee in your matinee, and then you get the game we just talked about, LeBron Zion in the late game. And yesterday, midway through the second quarter, the Raptors are leading. The crowd, they're up double digits. The crowd's fully engaged. And I'm watching it thinking, this is the Raptors saying, we're the champs. We beat you guys last year. With or without Kawhi, the title still goes through us. And I had food delivered to my house right when that happened. And I went and got the door, told my wife and daughter's food was there. I got some plates, went back up to my office, and it was tied. I was gone for 4 minutes, and the game was tied. Oh, a nice little pasta, a little shrimp.
You went Italian.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. And from that moment forward, the Bucks were in total control of the game. And that's what they have the ability to do. So to me, the only concern for the Bucks, Antoine, is there is the Mike Budenholzer with great teams in the playoffs. He coached a 60-win team in Atlanta. That team's season ended with 4 straight losses. Coached a 60-win team in Milwaukee last year. That team's season ended with 4 straight losses. He might coach a 70-win team in Milwaukee this year. Will you make necessary adjustments if you have to? And the other question for me, Antoine, is Eric Bledsoe, who is having his best season as a Buck, who's playing really, really well as a third option for them. He was borderline unplayable at times in the postseason last year. They had the Malcolm Brogdon option. Malcolm Brogdon now plays for the Pacers. But it's going to have to be something like this, because I don't see Toronto or Miami or Philly or Boston, any of those teams, being able to throw a real scare into Milwaukee.
The only thing that bothers me about Milwaukee, and they're very capable of doing it, can they go on the road and win? And they would have to go in Toronto and probably win a couple games there, and probably in the Eastern Conference Finals. If they can go in there and do that, they have no problem getting out. They are the best team. They are going to get to the finals. I think the additions that they added puts them over the top finally. I thought last night if Marvin Williams coming in, making a couple threes to get him, a guy who's never played in meaningful games, now he's energized to play in meaningful games. I think Wesley Matthews on his team having some real toughness. And I think George Hill and Boozer is not scared to play him. I think he'll sit Bledsoe. I think he'll play a George Hill late. And
if
George
Bledsoe's struggling in the playoffs again?
He'll play him. And Chris Middleton, to me, has got better. We don't talk about him enough. He's a 50, 40, 90 guy. He's playing unbelievable basketball. You look at even the game before this, when Giannis didn't play, I mean, Chris Middleton was unbelievable. His steadiness has been great. I think Robin Lopez, adding him to the team, too. Their additions gets them over the top. They kept the core together, and they brought in guys that can help their team. And then Giannis is obviously playing at MVP level, probably was going to get back-to-back MVPs. And he wasn't great last night, but 19 rebounds, 8 assists. The way he can continue to affect the game. And their
spectacular defense.
And that defense is unbelievable. They're head and shoulders better than anybody in the Eastern Conference. Barring any injury, I don't see them not getting to the Eastern Conference final. I mean,
NBA Finals. Like, Jenna, I don't think they're going to face a Game 6. Until you mentioned they're going to have to win a couple. They have more road wins this year than any other team in the league has home wins. They have been so dominant in all facets. I'm glad you mentioned Chris Middleton, because I said on the show yesterday that when we look at the dynamic duos in the league, Middleton's the least accomplished of any of the team. Harden, Russ, Kawhi, Paul George, LeBron, Anthony Davis, Giannis, Middleton. Middleton's least accomplished of any of those second best options. But he's having a better season than Paul George is up to this point by far. He is having
the elite category.
Say it again?
The elite category now, finally.
Absolutely. I mean, 42% from three. 21 points. The night that Giannis fouled out and he leads them on a 9-2 individual run in overtime the other night to steal that game from Washington. He's playing the best basketball of his life, and that's critical.
And when you look around the East, who's going to stop Giannis at this point? Like, who's playing well enough to jump out in the East and say, all right, I'm the one that's going to contain
the answer would have been Toronto.
It would have been Toronto. All right, well, the Bucks beat Toronto last night. They extend their lead over the Raptors to 8 games now. But before we go to break, we want to get back to everyone's favorite rapper.
Speak for yourself.
Drake, he showed up donning championship belts, trying to troll the Bucks. Did it work?
Jay-Z's my favorite rapper, too. So don't put me in that category.
Not even, no one's category. Not even a little, said Giannis.
What was your reaction to Drake bringing out the championship belts tonight?
I didn't notice that. I just found out about it. I don't know who told me. Probably Dante. Somebody told me. You know, when I'm in the game, I'm just locked in and try to win the game. I really don't look outside pants or, you know, what they do and all that.
I asked Drake if he was bringing the belts to troll you, and he said, obviously he was.
That's good. He cares about me. I really don't. So I'm just here to win games and help my team, help my team win. That's all.
That's the right answer.
Oh, it's the perfect answer.
That's the right answer.
And Drake's about to be in a rough spot now, because there's a lot of NBA guys that love Drake. That generation is on its way out. Drake's going to be an NBA fan for a long time. Drake's an old man to Zion. Giannis don't give a damn about Drake. I don't know. Go ahead.
You got to put him on. I like this. He's the new Spike Lee. Let's just give him that. He's trying to be like the new Spike Lee.
Except for this. Spike Lee, if I say Spike Lee Sports, there is one team you associate him with.
Knicks.
Right? The Knicks. Man,
against one other team, the Pacers.
Right, but Spike's a diehard Knicks fan through and through. Man, Drake, was it Kentucky Wildcats? Is it LeBron with the Heat? Oh, I understand. Is it LeBron with the Heat? Is it the Raptors, who he's the team ambassador for? Giannis, that was pitch perfect. Drake had to go home with that L. Everything about last night in the NBA was great.
And I also like this on the serious. I do like the fact that they do that wrestling thing. I think every team.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I do. I think every team should have a little gimmick. Even back when LeBron them
with the pictures,
the handshakes.
Yep.
I just think all good teams. It's fun. It brings the team together. So I actually like that.
And it speaks to when you're super duper star. That's what it.
When he's the main guy.
When he's the main guy and he's a young guy and he's having fun. That's why it did. I said that yesterday about the pictures with the Cavs, because it's a similar situation. You got a mid-20s MVP about to win another MVP, and it keeps the team young.
And you got to think about it. This is what makes guys want to come play with you. You know, think about it now. We have a couple guys that can go fit in and play with the Clippers, the Lakers, the Marvin Williams of the world. Yep. You know, Kyle Korver. These guys are now choosing to go play with Giannis. So
right, and choosing to go play in Milwaukee.
I know, in the
small
town of Milwaukee.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a break, switch gears on the other side. Coming up, are the Carolina Panthers all in on Cam Newton? But is that the right move?